These are both 1899 Morgan dollars, but one has noticeably more detail above Liberty's ear and across the eagle's breast. Look at this coin. The hair is nearly flat. The breast feathers appear to be missing. Those are two of the first places graders look for circulation wear. So this Morgan dollar does look worn. But watch what happens when the light moves across it. The detail appears worn. The surface does not. Was this coin worn down in circulation? Or did some of that detail never fully form? Make your call now. Weak strike and circulation wear can create flatness in the same places. With weak strike, the missing detail never fully formed. With circulation wear, detail that once existed was gradually removed. The amount of detail cannot answer this question by itself, so we have to examine the surface beneath it. Let's begin with the hair above Liberty's ear. There's no question that the design is incomplete, but instead of counting the missing hair strands, follow the band of light as it moves through that area. Does the light continue across the flattened hair, or does it encounter an isolated patch that makes it appear duller or smoother than the surrounding surface? On this coin, the light continues through the suspicious area. The hair is weak, but the surface remains active. This matters because circulation does more than remove design detail. Friction also changes the microscopic texture that produces a coin's original luster. If wear removed this much hair detail, we would look for a corresponding disruption in the light pattern. That might appear as dulling, smoothing, or a break in the cartwheel across the exposed high point. But here, the missing detail is much easier to see than any isolated break in the surface. Now, let's check the reverse. The center of the eagle's breast appears flat. At first glance, that again strengthens the case for wear. But as the light crosses the breast, the remaining surface continues to participate in the surrounding luster. Once again, the missing detail is clearer than any convincing luster break. That moves our first test toward a weak strike. But luster is not an automatic verdict. Lighting, toning, and surface disturbances can all affect what we see. If you appreciate evidence-based investigations like this that help you see your coins differently, subscribe to the Educational Numismatist. We test the evidence before reaching the verdict. Now, let's examine the surface more closely. Circulation usually affects the exposed portions of a coin before its protected recesses. If the hair above Liberty's ear was flattened through circulation, we should look for a surface change where that contact occurred. Compare the flattened hair with the nearby strands, the protected recesses, and the surrounding fields. The design is weak, but the flat area does not stand apart as an unmistakably smooth patch over an otherwise original surface. Its texture remains reasonably consistent with the areas around it. The eagle's breast produces the same result. Its feather detail is incomplete, but the remaining surface does not reveal a clear, isolated patch of circulation smoothing. Now that doesn't prove that the coin has experienced absolutely no friction. It tells us something more limited. Circulation is not providing the strongest explanation for this much missing detail. Has that changed your verdict? Now let's return to the second 1899 Morgan dollar that you saw at the beginning. Now this is not a perfect scientific control, because different dyes, dye wear, and striking pressure can all affect the finished coin. But that's precisely why the comparison is useful. Two Morgan dollars from the same mint and year can leave the press with different amounts of detail. First, compare the hair above Liberty's ear. One coin shows stronger separation in parts of the hair. The other is noticeably flatter. Now compare the eagle's breast. Again, one coin shows more complete definition, while the other remains weak through the center. But greater detail does not automatically make one coin uncirculated, and flatter detail does not automatically make the other coin worn. The comparison establishes one narrow but important fact. Missing detail can exist without circulation being its cause. Now we can weigh the complete pattern. The hair above Liberty's ear and the feathers across the eagle's breast are clearly incomplete, but the luster continues through those suspicious areas. The exposed surfaces do not show an unmistakable patch of circulation smoothing. The obverse and reverse present the same pattern. And the second 1899 O demonstrates that the amount of detail can vary between coins from the same mint and year. Taken together, the evidence supports weak strike more strongly than clear circulation wear. This Morgan dollar looks worn at first glance, but its preserved surface keeps it on the uncirculated side of the line. That conclusion applies to this coin and the evidence visible on its surfaces. But it doesn't mean that every flat 1899 O is uncirculated. And surrounding luster should never be used to excuse a genuine patch of high point friction. The design and the surface must tell a consistent story. So here's the collector rule. When design is missing, don't stop at where it's missing. Ask why. Follow the light through the suspicious area. Compare the exposed and protected surfaces. Then look for the same pattern on both sides of the coin. Missing detail begins the investigation. It does not end it. Did you initially call this Morgan dollar worn? Did the evidence change your verdict? Let me know which test convinced you most. The moving luster, the surface texture, or was it the second 1899 O? If you want to continue testing coin evidence, watch this investigation next to see why two experienced graders can examine the same coin and still disagree. Oh, and subscribe to the Educational Numismatist for the investigations that will follow.